Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and my dear friends, today, we gather here to talk about something fundamental, something that speaks to the heart of every success story, every achievement, every breakthrough that the world has ever seen. I want to talk about the concept of no risk, no gain. It is a phrase we've all heard, but have we truly understood it? Have we truly embraced it in our daily lives? Because let me tell you this, those four simple words carry with them the weight of every successful person's journey. They define the path that every trailblazer, every inventor, every leader, and every achiever has walked. Let's start by asking ourselves, what is risk? Risk is stepping into the unknown. It is the fear that grips you when you leave the comfort of certainty and safety. Risk is that knot in your stomach when you take that leap, knowing full well that failure is just as possible as success. But more importantly, risk is the seed from which growth blooms. It is the foundation of progress. Without risk, there is stagnation, and stagnation is the enemy of success. Now, let's consider the alternative. Imagine a life without risk. A life where every day is predictable, every decision safe, and every outcome guaranteed. At first glance, this might seem appealing. After all, who wouldn't want to avoid failure, disappointment, or hardship? But let's delve deeper. What happens to a person, a society, or a world that avoids risk? The answer is simple. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Without risk, there is no innovation. Without risk, there is no discovery. Without risk, there is no breakthrough, no pushing the boundaries of what is possible. The truth is, everything we value today has come from someone, somewhere, willing to take a risk. Every invention, every advancement, every piece of art, music, or literature that has ever moved you was created by someone who dared to risk failure, who dared to push beyond the status quo. The world we live in today is built upon the shoulders of those who risked it all. Take, for example, the Wright brothers. These two men dared to dream of flying when the world believed it was impossible. They risked not only their reputations but their lives to make that dream a reality. And today, because of their risk, we soar through the skies. Look at Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Imagine if he had given up after the first failure, or the 100th. But he understood that risk is a necessary part of success, that each failure brought him closer to the breakthrough. Without his perseverance, we might still be sitting in the dark. And it's not just inventors or entrepreneurs who understand this truth. In every walk of life, in every career, in every pursuit, there comes a time when you must take a risk to move forward. Athletes risk injury and defeat for the chance to stand victorious. Artists risk rejection and criticism for the opportunity to create something beautiful. Leaders risk unpopularity and resistance for the chance to drive real change. But they all know that without risk, the gain is not possible. Even in our personal lives, risk plays a crucial role. Think about love. To love is to risk heartbreak. To open yourself up to another person, to be vulnerable, is one of the greatest risks we can take. But without that risk, we miss out on the most profound human connection. We miss out on companionship, joy, and the deep sense of fulfillment that love brings. The same is true for friendship, for family, for all the relationships that enrich our lives. The problem is, we often let fear hold us back from taking the risks that could lead to our greatest rewards. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of the unknown. And that's natural. Fear is a powerful force, and it's there for a reason. It's there to protect us. But sometimes, we let fear have too much control. We let it paralyze us, keeping us stuck in a place of safety and comfort, but also of mediocrity. So, how do we overcome this fear? How do we embrace risk instead of running from it? The answer lies in shifting our mindset. We need to stop seeing risk as something to be avoided at all costs and start seeing it as an opportunity. Every time we take a risk, we open ourselves up to the possibility of growth. We give ourselves the chance to learn, to evolve, to become better. Even if we fail, especially if we fail, we gain something invaluable: experience. And experience is the true foundation of success. We must also learn to reframe failure. Failure is not the end. It's part of the process. Every great success story includes chapters of failure, But those who succeed are the ones who see failure not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone. They understand that each failure brings them one step closer to their goal. They use failure as fuel to keep going, to keep striving, to keep pushing the boundaries of what is possible. In the world of entrepreneurship, there's a common saying, fail fast, fail often. What does this mean? It means that the quicker you take risks, the quicker you fail, and the quicker you learn. And the more you learn, the better equipped you are to succeed. Look at any successful startup, and you'll find a story filled with risk, failure, and perseverance. But the people behind those companies understood that without risk, there would be no gain. They were willing to put everything on the line of their time, their money, their energy, for the chance at success. And that's why they are where they are today. Risk is not just about the big, bold moves, though. It's also about the small, everyday decisions that shape our lives. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you're taking a risk. Every time you try something new, every time you challenge yourself, every time you face a fear, you're taking a risk. And with every risk, you grow. You become more resilient, more confident, more capable. You discover strengths and abilities you never knew you had. You unlock potential that would have remained hidden if you had stayed in your safe, comfortable bubble. It's important to remember that not all risks are created equal. Some risks are reckless, while others are calculated. The key is to take smart risks. Risks that push you toward your goals, that align with your values, that move you in the direction of growth. Smart risks are about knowing the potential rewards and understanding the possible consequences, but choosing to take the leap anyway. It's about weighing the pros and cons, doing your research, and then having the courage to act, even when the outcome is uncertain. But here's the thing. Even calculated risks come with uncertainty. No matter how well prepared you are, no matter how much you plan, you can never guarantee the outcome. And that's okay. Uncertainty is a part of life. It's what makes life exciting. It's what gives life its richness and its depth. If we knew how everything was going to turn out, there would be no adventure, no thrill, no real sense of accomplishment. It's the uncertainty that makes success so sweet. It's the possibility of failure that makes victory so meaningful. Let me share another story with you. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, was once a struggling single mother, living on welfare. She had a dream of becoming a writer, but every publisher she approached turned her down. She was rejected time and time again. But she didn't give up. She kept taking risks. She kept putting her work out there. And eventually, one publisher took a chance on her. Today, she is one of the best-selling authors of all time, and her books have inspired millions of people around the world. But none of that would have happened if she had let the fear of failure stop her. None of that would have happened if she hadn't been willing to risk rejection. As you reflect on the stories of great inventors, entrepreneurs, and creators, it's important to remember that they, too, were once standing at the crossroads between comfort and risk. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often a willingness to choose the harder, riskier path. Each of us faces these crossroads every day, in both big and small decisions. We face the choice between staying where we are, in the realm of the known and the safe, or pushing forward into the unknown, where all true potential lies. You see, the real question is not whether or not to take risks, but rather what kind of life you want to live. Do you want a life where every day is the same, where you never push the boundaries of what is possible? Or do you want a life filled with adventure, growth, and achievement? A life that is driven by the pursuit of your true potential. It's a choice, and that choice is made every day. What separates extraordinary people from the rest is their ability to embrace risk, not as a threat, but as a friend. They see it not as something to fear, but as something to be leveraged. They understand that the possibility of failure is not something to be avoided at all costs, but something to learn from, to grow through. Every failure, every setback, every challenge is a stepping stone toward a greater understanding of what works and what doesn't. Let's talk about the risks we don't take, the opportunities we pass by. Every time we shy away from risk, we are essentially saying no to growth. We are turning down the chance to become something more, to create something new, to explore a new part of ourselves. And this, my friends, is the true tragedy. It is not the risk of failure that should scare us. It is the risk of never having tried. Imagine being at the end of your life and looking back, Not at the things you did, but at the things you didn't do. The risks you didn't take, the dreams you didn't chase. That's the real loss. That's the real cost of playing it safe. Regret is far worse than failure. Because at least with failure, you've learned, you've grown, you've evolved. But regret? It leaves you stuck in a place of what if and if only. Think about the people who have achieved remarkable things. They weren't always confident. They didn't always know the outcome. But they understood that if they didn't try, they'd never know what was possible. The truth is, every risk you take carries with it the seed of possibility. It holds within it the potential for transformation, for success, and for personal evolution. But you'll never see that potential if you're too afraid to plant the seed. Now, I want you to picture yourself standing on the edge of your comfort zone. What lies beyond that edge? Opportunity, growth, success, all the things you've ever wanted. But you'll never reach them if you stay where you are. You must step outside, into the unknown, into the realm of risk. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will be scary. But that's where life happens. That's where the magic happens. Each time you step into uncertainty, you are building your resilience. You are proving to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way, that you are stronger and more capable than you ever realized. And with each risk you take, you are expanding the limits of what you believe is possible for yourself. I'll leave you with this. Risk is not the enemy. Stagnation is. Fear is not the problem. It's inaction that holds us back. The world is filled with opportunities, with untapped potential, with dreams waiting to be realized. But none of that will come to you if you stay in the comfort zone. None of that will happen if you refuse to take risks. So, the next time you face a decision that scares you, the next time you stand at the crossroads between comfort and risk, remember this. The greatest rewards lie just beyond your fears. Take the leap. Take the risk. Because at the end of the day, no risk, no gain is not just a motto. It's a way of life. It's the path to success, the path to growth, and the path to becoming the best version of yourself. Taking risks is the only way to break free from the limitations we place on ourselves. We often hold back, thinking we aren't ready, we don't have enough experience, or that the timing isn't perfect. But let me tell you this, the perfect time will never come. The only moment you truly have is now. If you wait for the stars to align, you may wait forever, and life will pass you by. The reality is, the act of taking a risk itself can be the catalyst that creates opportunities where none existed before. Think of every major achievement in your life so far. Whether it's a career milestone, a personal goal, or a relationship, somewhere along the way, a risk was taken. It could have been small or monumental, but it was a leap into the unknown that got you there. Without risk, none of these achievements would have been possible. Risk is a teacher. It teaches you resilience, patience, and the ability to bounce back from failure. It tests your limits and pushes you beyond what you thought you were capable of. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, you strengthen your mental muscles, preparing yourself for even bigger challenges ahead. The more risks you take, the more you realize that failure is not something to fear, but something to embrace and learn from. So, why not take that leap? Why not push yourself beyond the boundaries that you've set? Sure, it's scary, but what's scarier is never knowing what you're capable of because you never dared to try. Success never comes from standing still. It comes from action, from moving forward, even when you're unsure of the outcome. Every step into the unknown brings you closer to your goals, even if you can't see the full path ahead. It's about trusting that the risks you take today will open doors tomorrow. Remember, the biggest risk in life is not taking one. The comfort zone may feel safe, but it's also where dreams go to die. Step into the unknown, embrace uncertainty, and let risk guide you toward the life you've always imagined. After all, no risk means no gain, and without gain, life remains unfulfilled. So take that chance, you might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve. If the answer is yes, then it's time to make a change. It's time to embrace risk. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and into the unknown. Because that's where the magic happens. That's where growth happens. That's where success happens. And let me tell you this, you are capable of more than you know. You have within you the strength, the courage, and the resilience to take risks, to face failure, and to keep moving forward. You have the power to achieve greatness, but you'll never know what you're truly capable of if you don't take that first step, if you don't take that leap of faith. So, I leave you with this. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to step into the unknown, because it is only by taking risks that we can truly grow, that we can truly achieve, that we can truly live. Remember, no risk, no gain. Thank you.